I'm happy to introduce Professor Taketoshi Mori from University of Tokyo. He has a background in biomedical engineering and was brought into the medical school at University of Tokyo about 10 years ago was it more than 10 years ago now? To lead a nursing bioengineering initiative. And so today he's going to present on the development of their current state of their unit, which has some really interesting opportunities. And I think that as we just established a biomedical engineering school at UBC, and that's inside the Faculty of Applied Science, and since our School of Nursing is inside the Faculty of Applied Science, I think we can maybe look at some possible opportunities for thinking about this kind of model as something we might be able to launch or think about launching here in, at UBC. So without further ado.
Okay. Thank you very much. My name is Mori from the University of Tokyo. Sorry about my poor English. I will present how many minutes I have? 30 minutes or so?
Yeah, until about quarter two, so 40 minutes or 45?
Yeah, I brought the Japanese chocolate for you. So.
Like that.
Anyway, so I'll start.
Thank you.
So today's my title is Emergence of Collaboration between Engineering and Nursing. Sorry of the order because I am engineer. And I'm actually the PhD of engineering, the kind of doctor of engineering, but we call PhD or even for engineering in Japan. And after undergraduate, 5 years or 6 years is taken for obtain PhD, typically in Japan. And I'm a principal investigator of a small lab. So now in the Graduate School of Medicine. Actually, maybe I can introduce myself briefly afterwards, but now I'm a endowed chair professor of a small lab sponsored by a private company. But the University of Tokyo itself is a national university, a governmental university, but recently the research fund from the government is not enough even for the top-level university as University of Tokyo. So we should collect a lot of research fund from private companies. So myself position, even for my position and salary and research budget is sponsored by a private company. Anyway, myself is my background is robotics or real-time vision hardware, image processing, or human modeling. After becoming researcher at the human modeling, I shifted from the robotics researcher to more health science related research. Yes. And maybe you may not know, but now I became 50 this month. And I obtained PhD in 1995 and became an assistant professor, of course, of engineering, and then moved to the Graduate School of Engineering. And after staying at engineering school for, I don't know, maybe 10 or 15 years, and some nursing professor invited me to come to Graduate School of Medicine to start collaboration work between engineering and nursing. And I moved to, the Graduate School of Medicine in 2010 fall. And now I spent about 7 years at the Graduate School of Medicine. She is a leading professor of the school who invited me to the graduate school, nursing school. These are my collaborators past. But maybe I would like to volume, yes. Thank you. So these are my research results, and I was the developer of the autonomous vehicle, especially for the autonomic wheelchair, personal mobility, and move around by sensors who have less cognitive function. And elderly people can just sit on and ride to somewhere by the own. And also, I am the developer of some motion understanding techniques using vision processing or some sensors. I'll skip the detail of my research because the topic this time is not the research. And I should introduce my sponsor because only obligation to the sponsor is to show every people this who is the sponsor. Anyway, my sponsor is Molten of Japanese company. The kind of related to sporting, Adidas, or Nike or something. And they are developing sports balls, soccer balls or basketball or volleyball. And you may not know, most of the balls in international field is currently manufactured by Asian companies. The brand is just on the ball, for example, Adidas or Nike or someone. But the real manufacturer is not Nike or Adidas, but the Asian or maybe South American company is developing or manufacturing. So this ball is for Adidas, produced by my sponsor. And the sponsor itself is moving from this kind of sports materials to more health science related materials. For example, they are manufacturing bed frames or mattress, especially the air mattress, air cell mattress to support or prevent bed sores. Also, they are manufacturing some kind of ICU-related materials. And today's outline is like this. I don't know what's your post, but I will talk about the University of Tokyo and our Division of Nursing. Then I will talk about the Global Nursing Research Center at the University of Tokyo we recently established, and then some collaborative works at the research center. First, the University of Tokyo is founded in 1877, and we think that the university is Japanese top university, at least one of them. And student number is about 30,000. I don't know how many you have, but maybe the very large university in Japan, because we have a lot of universities in Japan, and the number of students is limited for each university. So maybe the maximum of the Japanese. And the typical Japanese university ratios like this. Female students is about 1/4. And the University of Tokyo is almost the same. Of course, the percentage of female students is increasing, but still about like this. We have, I don't know the correct term, that we have a lot of female university, which means 100% female university. So this happens. These are the reputation ranking or world ranking. Actually, I hide it after this because the Singapore University or Hong Kong or some other university is more higher recently. Why this happens is because University of Tokyo teaches in Japanese language, I mean. The other Hong Kong or Taiwan is already starting to teach many things by English. So the foreign students are coming to that university, or the reputation ranking also go down if we offer just Japanese lectures. Yes. These are kind of view of our university. Maybe this university also has a symbol of, I don't know, clocks. Many universities, yes. We also have symbol of this campus and also this campus. This is my campus, Hongo University, in middle of Tokyo. The University of Tokyo has 10 faculties. I don't know the difference between this university, but these are the typical organization of the Japanese university. We have law school, medical school, engineering school, I don't know, what's it? Maybe literature, but they say faculty of letters, and science and agriculture, economics, arts and science, and education, and for drugs. And as for the graduate school, we have more than 10. And my former graduate school was engineering. And then I moved to this school, closely related. The split from engineering school for computer science or some others. And this is the collaborative research graduate school of, how can I say, more social science oriented and natural science oriented, both combination of the information technologies. This is small school, but recently established. So we have 15 graduate schools. And we have a big hospital in the university, maybe you also have. And the University of Hospital, Tokyo Hospital, is older than the university itself. And they have about 1,200, beds. And average outpatient per day is about 3,000. And of course, physician is limited. Official faculty member, physician is limited, so we lend a lot of physicians from other hospitals or other universities for treat these outpatients now. Yes. And the view of the hospital is like this. We are now building same as this size building, maybe start using from maybe next January, I heard. Our division of nursing is like this. We have undergraduate school and graduate school. And as for the undergraduate, we call the division not nursing, but School of Integrated Health Science. The faculty is in the Faculty of Medicine. The capacity of the student is just 45 for each grade. So we have about 150 students in the undergraduate school. Because we have the general program among social science and natural science and medicine or everything in our university, so the first grade is not, first group student is not coming to some specialized school. They are learning in different campus. And actually, the capacity is like this. But the number of actual students is only 15 for health science program and just 8 for nursing program. why this happens is because our university entrance exam is not open for some specialized program, but they can enter everywhere. And then they decide which division to go in their first grade. And the popular division has a lot of students. But currently, both health science and nursing program is not so popular. So the still some vacancies exist. Maybe only half is filled. I don't know why. The number of students is increasing happily. And as for the master's course, School of Public Health and Division of Health Sciences exist. This is maybe probably on this program, and this is probably on this program. And as for the graduate school, both program is filled by students coming from other universities. We have about 60 students for each year. And as for the PhD course, we have about 15 students, or maybe 25 students, including health science program, for each year. So we have about 50 students in PhD course in total for this division of nursing. As for the organization of division, we have just only 7 professor positions. Only 3 of them are already becoming professor, and 4 of them are still, I should not say still, but associate professor. Some of associate professor is maybe less than 45, younger than 45. Professors are all near 60. Yes. Maybe the divided sense is different from your school. I don't know. Is there family nursing here? I don't think so. It's rather special. No? Community nursing is, of course, closely related to
and pediatrics. Now we have public health and
pediatric. Pediatric is treated here.
Pediatric is treated there.
I think. Yeah. Like that.
We also have nurse practitioners who are doing family nurse practitioner.
I see. As for the system in Japan, we don't have any nurse practitioner currently. Of course, we are developing such kind of system in the government, but now currently there's no nursing practitioner system. So we just kind of educating to be a RN. The research by the 7 departments of nursing school is like this. Average acquired fund is $1 million US. And the English articles is maybe 70 articles per year. So each lab produces 10 articles per year. Is that large? I don't think so. I don't know. I'm sorry.
It's in line with, I think, our
average?
It's average, yeah.
Okay. And as for actually number of papers from Japan, 13 PubMed, so we can only find the University of Tokyo. Other Japanese universities don't publish, I should not say don't, but very less article is coming from other universities. Also, this is not an old number, actually already some exceeded the University of Tokyo, but anyway, the University of Tokyo submit one of the largest number. in Asia. And what happens after graduation of master's course? They become researchers, of course. Also, they become some governmental sector working person or nursing managers of some large university, large hospital, I mean. And also they come to the, how can I say, the leader or community nursing center. Or what's the correct term? I don't know.
Yeah, we're pretty talented.
Visiting nurses leader. And as for the career path of doctor course students, of course, they mostly become the faculty. There are very small number of PhD obtained nurses in Japan. So if they obtain PhD, they can easily become associate professor of university, not national university, but private university associate professor. Even they are 29 or 28. But that's a big problem in Japan. And the future of our nursing school is, of course, we don't have much number of international research collaborations. Also, we have less international students. So we are now expecting international students to come to our university. Of course, we accept a lot of Japanese students. And so for the summary of nursing school, nursing program at the University of Tokyo has a long history, and it has contributed to the Japanese society through nursing in academic or administrative and clinical fields. But as for the research aspect, we have some problem in Japan or our university. So why we started to talk about or think about this like this. First, nursing in Japanese academic environment. PhD course in Japan is now increased to 80, more than 80. But the nursing university is about 260 in Japan. Too much maybe. And because why this happens is because of the society becomes more elder. And government supports the university to create new nursing school, but not as much as nursing school. The master's course or PhD course are still limited in Japan. And next, because of nursing school increase, what happens is short-handed teachers, especially for the training at the hospital. So if, as I said, the PhD graduate become easily to be the associate professor, but they are dedicated to teach training at hospital. So even they have PhD, they cannot perform research. So we thought that we should change something. And as we are one of the top university of Japan, so we should create some supporting methods for the postgraduates or young faculties. And these are rather busy slides, but so we plan to create the research center not just for University of Tokyo, but for the Japanese nursing society. So building the nursing research center as a foundation to develop new disciplines or conduct and publish new research with collaboration with other faculty members, I mean the faculty of other fields. Also, we would like to educate young researchers especially who has already PhD but just dedicated to some small educational programs. So this project started maybe 3 years ago or so. And as for last year, actually I and some other young assistant professor came to your school and asked how to establish the system of the training of post-PhDs, or how to create some research center for nursing or something like that. Actually, I visited these 3 universities. Other professors visited like this. I don't know the types, but maybe these are one of top universities of nursing. I don't know. I'm sorry. They have a lot of PhD. No, postdoc. Rather small number of postdoc compared in the United States, I think. So we compared universities and maybe created the idea of more Asian-like research center design. Yeah, actually, we established the research center on this April. We have 2 divisions. One is called Care Innovation, more concentrated on producing something with engineers, as like me, for example. And this is more rather for qualitative nursing research. We only have just 3 research centers in graduate school of medicine. So this is the first research center of nursing in the university and in maybe Japan. The Ministry of Education and Ministry of Health is strongly supporting this research center. Just by talking, not by budget. Only one professor is assigned for this. And the other professors are, how can I say, adjoined professor, which has other job. And as for the research contents, Division of Care Innovation is, as I said, a collaboration with bioengineering or human engineering or other more technology-related things. And as for the Division of Nursing System, even this system, the actual research topic is rather qualitative nursing research, or how can I say, or using technology such as text mining or something like that for qualitative research. And we have several postdoc programs, and we invited some professors from, I don't remember actually, but maybe Taiwan. And the other professors are of our own division of nursing. And we currently only have 3 professors, all are female. And the 2 of the professors are working this side, and one of the professors, who are the director and also my collaborator, is working for this more technological related division. We are collaborating with a lot of other facilities or organizations in the university. For example, of course, the hospital. We also have specialized institute of gerontology, so we are collaborating with each other. And some of research should be shown. And first, we have a small unit of biological nursing in our division. In the biological nursing field, we develop methods to clarify the mechanism underlying various issues and identify intervention targets. One of the main, how can I say, advantage we have is skin blotting. We call. What is that? Is that we put small sheet on skin and obtain several how can I say, materials inside the skin, and then of course we use general PCR or RT-PCR technique to analyze what's inside the skin. What is new is that we don't have to biopsy. Just touching small sheet on the skin, we can obtain what's inside the skin. Of course, we started from the rat or mouse research, and now we are applying this technique for patients. We can maybe predict pruritus, or maybe we can estimate latent inflammation, or maybe we can estimate risk for skin tear. Do you use skin tear term? Oh, really? We noticed this term maybe 3 years ago or so. We never used this. We don't know what we should call such symptom. Anyway, we are working on this technique for many wound-related symptoms. As for my division, I am the leader of robotics nursing. You may imagine the robot as, I don't know, C3PO or something like that. But actually, we define robots is that machines that have actuators, sensors, and control. Maybe it should act automatically or autonomously. So even for the bed like this bed has pressure distribution sensor. And based on that, it can control the angle, or it can control the inflation of the air to reduce or prevent bed sore, or to measure respiration or pulse indirectly. Maybe you can see this video. We set the small sensors on the bed frame, about 200. And on the frame, we put natural mattress. And the system can measure the distribution of pressure like this. And you can maybe imagine that the posture is easily calculated based on the data. As for the validation, we put, of course, some kind of objects on the bed, but the system can easily recognize whether the objects or a human is coming. Because human is moving slightly every time, so we can easily distinguish whether the objects are on the bed or a human are on the bed, like this. And if you have some shape model of human, you can calculate the 3D posture on the bed just from the 2D pressure distribution data, like this. Maybe recognizing posture on the bed is not so interesting. We're just counting number of turns or something like that. But why we do this is to know the position of the back of neck or a back of knee or a back of abdomen. And such places indicate the pulse. You can easily feel the pulse here or a back of knee, and measuring such place, you can easily obtain the pulse wave. Like this, we can easily calculate respiration, or we can obtain even the respiration curve or pulse curve or some other. Or the sleep depth data can be also obtained by this sensor. This sensor is, what is good is this is non-invasive and no code, no restrict. And currently we are trying to use this sensor to predict, not detect, predict fall. Before leaving bed, patient, even in unconscious state, moves some slightly, moves strangely, I don't know. But if we obtain a lot of data before falling or before leaving bed, we may predict whether they are going to leave or whether they are going to fall. Now we are currently constructing the model of the move. Already I shown this. And also we are working on some humanoid robot. Humanoid robot may, I don't know, I'm not sure, may be a kind of animal therapy usage. We are not sure. We are working on several applications, for example, to communicate with some dementia people, or predict whether he or she would like to go to the bathroom and guide to the bathroom without nurse help, for example. These are our ongoing project, not having any result right now. And also, as I am actually the scientist of information technology, my obligation or my task is to work on the large data collected in hospital, especially by hand written by nurses. And they are all thrown away right now in Japan, so we are working on to collect a lot of data written by nurses, or even, what did you say? Call well data. And the call well data are thrown away. But it contains maybe the information of busyness of ward, for example, or the interruption number indirectly of the ward. So we are currently working on analysis of this. So maybe this may be the conclusion. As I am an engineer, started collaboration with nursing or nursing scientists. We wrote some textbooks of nursing, collaboration between bioengineers and nurses. I'm sorry, 2 of the books are written in Japanese, but you can find the left-hand side one. And so we call nursing, or how can I say, monitoring, in Japanese, Mimamori. Mimamori is more or less a broader term than nursing maybe. How can I say? Nursing care or monitoring people, watching people, some nuance like that. And for this to be supported by technology, we think that the technology should be used for personalization. It is rather hard for human to memorize all people's different personality. So maybe the machines can help to measure or monitor the human status or a human's personality, and then maybe some summarize or abstract and give some information for the nurses or other health professional. So the nursing engineering in Japan is studied to help personalization of monitoring. And what we concentrated on is here. The new healthcare approach should be based on knowing user. So, as typical physician or typical hospital only meet with patient in their not healthy status, disease status, I mean. So they don't know the usual healthy state of people. So, but the future health support should be based on knowing healthy status of each people, and then based on that, we can think, or the health professional can think or design what should be the best care for each people. And for that, the human cannot do much. So sensors can monitor every day, every time, what happens for each people by, for example, by like this, more sophisticated sensor, of course, and then put together the information and provide the summarized information for health professional. And based on that, the health professional can offer new, good, best care for the people. These are the concepts of our collaboration between engineering and nursing. Yes. So the summary is collaboration of nursing and engineering. We make efforts to uncover solutions to clinical issues using many transdisciplinary approaches, from maybe biochemists to, for example, like me, bioengineer. And in terms of our scientific approaches, we conduct surveys, from surveys to actual products manufacturing with some collaborative companies. Maybe that's all. Thank you.
We do have another class starting here in about 10 minutes, but I think we have time for a couple of questions.
This is really fascinating, especially given that our School of Nursing happens to be in a Faculty of Applied Science with engineering, but we haven't really had very many opportunities. We have some collaboration that is happening between nursing and engineering in our school, but not very many. In your experience, is this the first in Japan? Are there other schools that do this kind of research?
Actually, ours is the first, but now we, for example, Osaka University, or maybe you may know Chiba University, or some other 2 or 3 universities is starting almost the same. Of course, there has been the collaborative work or research between nursing and engineering, maybe by person, but currently we in Japan is starting the collaboration as, how can I say, more organization style. And 1 or 2 faculty members, myself, moves from engineering school to medical school and start collaboration. Or other side is also happening in, for for example, in Osaka University. Living with different discipline people is very important. As for my experience, just collaboration through, for example, students is not good enough or not working rapidly. Professor himself or herself should go to other side and start more strongly. It maybe help at least the rapidness of the progress. Yes.
Thank you so much. Very interesting. And my question is around, I can see the collaboration and around technology and device development, but how is the teaching? Is it engineering teaching and nursing, or nursing teaching and engineering?
Yes. Currently, it's not happening. But of course, myself is having I don't know the correct term, one class. Full class means 15 sets.
Yeah, a course.
15 units,
Yeah.
course. Yes, I have 1 or 2 course for nursing students. And also, yes, of course, I teach a lot of nursing students at the lab directly. And they are conducting clinical research using engineering technology. And of course, she or he has been learning engineering methods at the first grade of master's course from myself or my younger faculty.
Okay. I think that's all we have time for today. But thank you so much. And